It's that time again. Let's prepare for the OSSLT. Today's lesson is going to be on the short response questions that you'll get. If you missed last week's lesson on reading and grammar, make sure you check out the school's website. Under the OSSLT section, there are links to the video and then also the resources that were used for practice. There are two types of short responses that you'll encounter on the OSSLT. There are the open responses that are related to the reading selections and also the short writing tasks. Your short writing tasks are just two general questions where you use your knowledge and your personal life experience to answer. Another key thing to note is that every short response question has 6 blank lines that you're expected to fill. Let's start by talking about the open response questions that you'll get. These open response questions are related to the reading selections. So for the information paragraph, the news report, and the dialogue, you'll get 1 to 2 questions based on the readings. Each of the responses requires a demonstration of reading comprehension with supporting ideas from the reading selection. And the best way that you can accomplish that is by using PPA. So what exactly is PPA? PPA stands for Point Proof Analysis, so recall your Suzuki English classes. Point Proof Analysis is a really great tool to help you structure your paragraphs. Your point would be your first sentence, and that's your clear topic sentence that tells the reader what the paragraph is about. Your proof would be 1 to 2 sentences of your detailed proof, either from the reading selection or from your experience that supports a topic sentence. In the case of the open response questions, you want to make sure you're including proof from the actual reading selection. Then there's the analysis. That's where you expand and you explain how your proof helps develop your argument. And that ultimately supports your topic sentence, and you can throw in that concluding sentence in that section as well. So if you follow this point proof analysis format, you should have no problem filling in the 6 lines. So this here is an example of a dialogue reading selection. A really good tip to help you with reading comprehension is to make note of the formatting of the reading. So if there's an image, pay attention. What exactly is it? It's going to help you understand the story. And then on the side there, you'll notice that the lines are numbered to help you understand who is speaking. Last week we talked about the formatting of the OSSLT, where you get 2 question booklet and 2 answer booklets. This here is an example of the question booklet that has the reading selection with the accompanying multiple choice and open response questions. So you'll notice the open response questions come after the multiple choice. This one here in particular has 2. You can use this page to mark your preliminary answers or put some jot notes there, but nothing is marked in that booklet, so all of your answers needs to be transferred to the answer booklet. These are the corresponding answer booklet pages for this dialogue reading selection. You'll notice the part where you put in your multiple choice responses. Then you'll notice the 6 lines that they provide for you to answer the question. And there's also an optional rough notes area to help you organize and plan your answer before writing. And nothing that you write in that rough notes section is going to be marked. Let's move on to the next type. The short writing task is similar in the sense that you need to write a paragraph answer that fills 6 lines. However, instead of questions that relate to the reading selections, with your short writing, they're general questions where you use your knowledge and your personal life experience to respond. So ultimately, they're marking you on topic development and your conventions, whereas with the open response related to the reading selections, they're marking you on your reading comprehension. These are some examples of some short writing prompts that you might get. What you'll notice is that they're pretty easy questions that you can answer about yourself. This here is what the question booklet portion will look like for the short writing task. This here is the corresponding answer booklet page for that writing task. You'll notice the 6 blank lines that you need to fill in, and then also the rough notes section to help you organize your answer. So even though the rough notes section can really help you organize and structure your response, some of you might be tempted to spend too much time organizing your answers, and since your time is limited, you might end up running out of time or even rushing the longer writing questions that are worth more than these short writing. So just make sure you manage your time accordingly when you're doing this test. Let's go through some short writing tips. First things first, if you're stuck, don't be stubborn and leave the question blank out of frustration. Make an answer up. The people marking the OSSLT don't know you, don't know your life experiences, so even if you're making something up, they won't know. Second thing, make sure you use appropriate content and language within your response. You need to be aware of your audience. Another tip, a lot of students don't use up all of the lines, but if you use PPA, point proof analysis, like that kind of formatting, it'll help you fill the lines. And for some of you, you might be like, oh no, 6 lines is not enough. And the last thing, make sure you proofread your response because you are being marked on conventions. You want to make sure that your spelling and grammar is on point. Now it's time to practice PPA, point proof analysis. You have 2 tasks. There's an open response question that's related to the reading selection about Montreal's graffiti, and you have 1 short writing task about a new course that you would like to be offered in high school. Now is the time where you can pause the video. I hope you're ready to go through the scoring guides because I'm going to start talking about it now. So let's start with the open response. This is an example of an unsuccessful score. It includes the point, as in what the topic sentence is. It says that Montreal's approach to graffiti is beneficial. In terms of the proof, it doesn't really include much supporting details, and it includes some incorrect details. Even though the concluding sentence is present and the 6 lines are filled, the proof and the analysis are not sufficient to support the topic sentence. This here is an example of a successful response. It indicates considerable reading comprehension. It has the main topic sentence as the first sentence. It includes a proof of how it's beneficial, and it gives examples from the reading selection that supports the topic sentence. Let's move on to the short writing task where you'll be assessed on topic development and conventions. So this here is a response that's unsuccessful. It includes a point, as in what new course that they want the school to offer and what it is, but it doesn't actually explain why they had picked that course. So there was no proof and there was no further analysis, and so it was considered unsuccessful. You'll note that the student did fill in all of the lines, but the content just didn't justify a successful mark. Here's an example of a successful response. They included their point, they included their proof, and they included their analysis. So they clearly explained what the new course they wanted offered, what some details are about the course, and why that course would be helpful. Moving on to the conventions. What you'll notice here is that this response shows limited control of conventions. This here is a successful response that shows competent control of conventions. There are a little bit of minor errors, but not enough that would distract from the actual answer. And that's it for today. If you want some more short writing practice, why don't you tackle some of the other sample questions from this slide? Like, for example, what is the best advice that you have ever given to someone? Use specific details to explain your answer. The best advice that I've ever given to someone is to use PPA to help them prepare for the short response questions on the OSSLT. And blah, 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 blah. Until next week.